Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel or wherever you see this video at. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about recovering from a narcissist. Okay, what I mean by being in a relationship with a narcissist. Okay, the moment you realize that you have been discarded and you have been in a relationship with a narcissist, and this is not something to just judge and assume from the top of your head. It takes research into the narcissistic personality in order for you to know whether you was in a relationship with someone who had a narcissistic personality. So before you decide that, you should always have done your research. So I'm going to give you some advice for recovery that has worked for me. And I say this because it was a journey for me. I went through all kinds of emotions, and a part of me recovering is sharing my experience. So, and experience what I've learned, and experience how to recover from a narcissistic attack of a narcissistic person. So, and I call it an attack because you really have been attacked. When you go through the recovery phases, that's when you feel like you just went through a battle. So the first thing is allow yourself to have weak moments. So you're going to have moments where you feel like you're not proud of yourself, proud of how you ended it, proud of how you responded to the attacks. You feel ashamed as if you was so weak that you let this person take control of you and bully you and take advantage of you. You feel ashamed, especially as a grown-up. So allow yourself to feel like you don't have a reason to be ashamed. And if you do feel some shame, allow that too. Because that's a normal way to feel after the relationship is ended or in a so-called break, like the narcissists say. So you're going to have moments where you feel ashamed and you don't feel ashamed. But understand that either or is fine. But make sure you have those moments where you're not blaming yourself. You're not feeling so ashamed that that's all you can feel is shame. Okay? So, I want to make that clear one more time. Allow yourself to have moments in which you may feel ashamed and don't feel any shame. Okay? So, I've said to myself many times, I'm not ashamed that I gave my heart to him. I'm not ashamed that I believed him. I'm not ashamed that I took care of him and looked after him, even though in the end he just threw me to the wayside, threw me to the roadside. So that's what went on in my mind, as well as there was moments I felt ashamed, where I said, I feel so ashamed as a grown woman that I literally did not see it coming, that I literally believed his words. So I went through those emotions, and you're going to too, if you're not already, if this is the beginning of your recovery phase. And I say recovery because you have been attacked. Tell yourself this, okay? Tell yourself your spirit, your emotion, maybe even your body, and your mind definitely has been attacked by this narcissistic person who you trusted and loved or was growing to love. Okay, so the next thing is love yourself more, okay? So, do things that makes you feel good. Maybe putting your makeup on boosts your confidence. Okay, maybe going dancing, flirting with new people, out in the clubs. playing the attention game, I'll call it, like seeing if you can get this guy's attention or this girl's attention. And, when you do, pat yourself on the back. You made yourself feel like you love yourself more. You build your confidence up. Because know this, when you leave a relationship with a narcissist, they have chipped away some of your self-esteem. So there's a rebuilding of that has to go on during the recovery phase. So you can actually be around people that tend to compliment you and build you up. Okay? Be around family when you're feeling low so they can, build you up. This is going to increase the love you have for yourself. How can I say re-increase? That's the new word, but re-increase, because it was increasing when you met the narcissist. And he knew that, okay? He or she knew that. So the next one is finish what you may have started that was great motivation for you before you met the narcissist. So often when we get involved with a narcissist, at some point we start to fall so head over heels with them that we put some things on hold, some things that was a great motivation for our spirit that really was going to make us achieve our goals, and we put them on hold because we want to show the narcissist that we appreciate all the love, all the make-believe love that they were giving us. So we make them a priority, and then all those other priorities that came before the narcissist that was significant to helping us grow spiritually, we put them on hold, okay? Or we barely even involve ourselves in them anymore, okay? So now is to pick back up, okay? Pick those things back up, okay? Whether it was going to the gym, writing, visiting relatives that you love and love you, whether it was improving your health, whether it was striving for that promotion at work, pick it all back up, okay? I know there's no reset button, but that your life will continue back on the path it was on before you met the narcissist if you realize that there's things I put on hold for them, and they're waiting for me, and they've been waiting for me to pick them back up. Okay? So, number 4, do not feel like you owe the narcissist an apology. Now, some people feel like, oh, they reacted bad at the end. Oh, they start blaming themselves, saying, I must have did something wrong, or I overreacted at the end, I lost it, I need to apologize. And sometimes people use that as a crutch. Don't know that they are at times, or know they are, that they're using that as a way to get back the crumbs from the narcissist, them crumbs of love again. And that's where your self-esteem has not really been rebuilt. When you do that, you know that you really haven't rebuilt your self-esteem. You haven't put the self-esteem back that the narcissist took from you. Okay, that is a sure sign to tell. When you start finding crutches and blaming yourself about your reaction at the end, just so you can get their attention again. Let me tell you that towards the end of the devalue stage with a narcissist, you are tempted to really lash out. You're tempted to be angry. You're tempted to flip out. You're tempted to be outraged. Your emotions are all over the place. And that's how he feeds himself, or she feeds himself, off this energy. They want to suck almost all the energy, last drop of energy out of you before they let you go for any period of time. They choose to let you go that they think is in their control to let you go. Meaning they determine the time. That's what they think. They never consider that maybe you won't take them back. So don't start blaming yourself and apologizing towards the end. It's just not, about your reactions at the end. Pretty much they pushed you to the emotional edge. So what could you expect from yourself? Okay, so and I'm not talking about violence towards them. I'm talking about literally maybe throwing all their dirt in their face, and really yelling at them, or saying, I will hope karma gets you. I hope you go to hell. I went through all that. That's all normal. That's a normal reaction to the narcissist devaluing you and discarding you the way they do. Okay. Achieve a new or old goal. Okay. So you're going to literally pick up a goal, a goal that you've been thinking of starting for yourself, whether it's to write a book, whether it's to, clean out your attic and your house. Do that. Okay. That distance and mind-freeing time that you're going to experience with that is going to help in the healing process. Okay. The detachment from the narcissist. Okay. So here's the next part. Grieve on a friend. So call a friend that tends to be very sensitive and compassionate and non-judgmental. And just, ask them what they mind, venting and just you telling them their experience with the narcissist and just getting it off your chest and crying. Okay. That will help you feel like, some part of you have confronted the narcissist, because sometimes people don't confront the narcissist. They just, are silent, at the devalue stage. And then they regret it. They say, oh, I wish I would have said this. I wish I would have told him he was nothing. I wish I told him he treated me like crap, that he was wrong. He treated me like crap at the end. And you say that. So everybody wants closure except the narcissist. The narcissist really doesn't care if he has closure. Okay? So what helps to get closure is to find a shoulder to cry on. Talk to someone. Okay? Spend time alone, focusing on what happened. When you do this, it will allow you to actually start to have more clarity on how the narcissist was able to gain emotional and mental control over you and manipulate you. That way you recognize it and you are prepared not to let it happen again when you're coming across a new narcissist. And believe me, there are many out there. It's like 70% are just men. It's a high number of narcissists in the world. So don't beat yourself up if you happen to end up being with several narcissists before you know exactly in the first month this person is a narcissist. Okay. So when you spend that time alone thinking, as I said, you will start to think about also what could you have done differently in certain parts of the relationship where they were convincing you to trust their make-believe love. How could you have safeguarded yourself and said, thank you very much for all these love-bombing gestures, but I think we're moving too fast. I think you're moving too fast. So I look back sometimes, not much now because I'm like almost done, basically done in the recovery stage. But I used to look back all the time and I used to say, why didn't I tell him he was moving too fast? I had no idea I was being love bombed because I had never been with a narcissist until then. So I was totally blindsided by my narcissist. I will share my experience with my narcissist in another video, okay? And I'll tell you about how it ended, began, and just how I got through it more. So number 10, actually, avoid contact, silent treatment. Get rid of anything that reminds you of the narcissist. If there's places that you and the narcissist used to go, don't go to them for a long time. Okay? Seriously, wipe out their pictures from your Facebook, wipe out their pictures from your phone, your messenger, block their numbers, all their numbers. Matter of fact, only speak their name when you're actually talking about the things that they did to you to devalue you and discard you. Do not speak their name in celebration of who they are. Okay? Because understand that narcissists, grandioso ones, that's what they're striving for. To suck up all the attention, but first, to convince you to do that, to give them all the attention. Cater to them once they've got you to believe that it's going to be a balanced thing by love bombing you in the beginning. So, when you get to the advice I told you about no contact, it also means not going places where you know you're going to see them. It means, no more shooting them like, how could you do this to me? Text. None of that. Literally, don't even go in their part of the neighborhood. Take another way home if they live near you. Do not even, if someone says, that guy you were dating, he seemed like a nice guy, I say, I don't want to talk about him. I said, because he wasn't nice. Tell yourself right out loud, he wasn't nice. He was manipulative. That's the key word, manipulative. That's what he did. So, the no contact is really important. Like, I say, months into the recovery, you'll start to feel like, just thinking of contacting him just makes you go, shivers, There's been many cases, like my case and many cases, where the narcissist was so determined to destroy me, ruin me, that just the mention of his presence make me do this. It really just makes me curl up in a ball. But not as much now, because I understand who he is. But a lot of the time, early on, it would make me go, like I just literally got hit with these chills when I would just hear his name. So in the beginning of your recovery, that's what you're going to experience, most likely. So I would suggest literally avoiding all contact. It's going to be hard, and they're going to make it hard, because they're going to feel, we'll get into that, the spiritual cord and connection the narcissist keeps with you even after he discards you. Okay, and that makes it difficult to move on, but we'll talk about that in another video. So the last thing I want to advise you in recovering from your narcissist is to allow yourself to love again. But give some time in your next relationship to see if this person is consistent. Okay? Not so much focus on how they're love bombing you or loving you in the very beginning, but also how they treat other people. Because understand that narcissists may hide their true colors from you early on, but often they don't hide the way they treat other people. For example, my ex used to actually be mean to people in the street, talk about people like a dog in the street. He got us kicked out of many places, okay? He would turn around that very moment afterwards and be loving and caring to me, which didn't make sense. Because I could have been any of those people out in the street, okay? So that taught me a lot about the manipulation, the phony, the thing that a narcissist is, the mask coming on and off, early on in the relationship. Okay, so allow yourself to love again, but allow yourself to pay closer attention to the person that you see after you've recovered. Notice I said after, okay? And this is another advice. Do not rebound. Do not try to go out there and lay up with someone new. And that's what I call rebounding, is laying up with someone. Don't try to call up an old flame and get even. Um, don't do that, because little do you know that even after it's all said and done, or even during it, the narcissist will creep back into your mind, try to creep back into your life. They don't care if you're seeing someone while they're done with you. They think that they always own you. Okay? They think they own you at some point. So that spiritual channeling that they'll do to you will happen even while you're with someone new trying to get over them. So don't take that route. Okay, you have to do a purification period, which I'll get into in another video spiritually. So I hope this video actually helped you with some advice in recovering from the narcissist. And what you definitely don't want to do before I end this video, because I forgot to say this, don't do any violent attacks on a narcissist. Don't go to their house and throw eggs on their door, bust the windows out their car, flat their tires, or hack their Facebook. Do nothing like that, because the narcissist is already character assassinating you. Trust me, even with his new girlfriend. And you're going to have people say, he was right. So you don't do that, okay? If you need any more advice and you just want to talk to someone about your recovery from your narcissist, message me. And if I have the time, because I'm a writer, if I have the time, I will definitely shoot you a message, okay? Thanks for listening.